I'm going to make a basic video on how to do leak down tests. This one happens to be a little ZX2 model Escort double overhead cam. Symptoms are when you floor it in an expressway, highway speeds, it'll let a cloud of smoke. So a couple things first you have to do is compression test. Crank it like 3-4 times, they say. Do all the cylinders, all the plugs out. Then put oil in the cylinder, each one of the cylinders, and check it as you do that. So I'm going to redo that again later. I got a simple basic compression checker. So this is what I found out that they weren't all showing you. You could probably do it with a piece of paper too. You can stick a piece of paper if you can reach it down the hole. And what I'm going to do is take my compression tester. And the compression tester hose you're going to use with the compression tester. And leak down cylinder test, you're going to use it with that hose with that machine. So I'm going to go in cylinder number 3. See if I can move it a little bit. Excuse my camera work. And I'm just threading the little hose into the compression thing. It'd be kind of hard to see a piece of paper pop out because these holes are down below the valve cover, but you can do that too. And I'm going to connect the compression gauge. And you have to do the leak down test on cylinder when it's on compression stroke. If you do it on the other stroke, it'll just arrow come out, shoot out. So if you watch the gauge, well, it's probably gonna be upside down, which is fine because you can still see it. I'm turning the engine by the crankshaft at the bottom. We're gonna watch it to get some type of compression. There, it moved. Now I can hear it. That means, and I squeezed that so we heard the compression go out. That means I'm on compression stroke. I'm doing this cranking it by hand, taking the hose out. I don't like those cheap ones you get from the dollar tool store, if you want to call it, China tool store. These swivel ends are so much easier to use. So now let me pause it while I get that piece out that's stuck in there. Just have to use the adapter. The only problem I have is that little adapter piece that goes in the hose I'm using for both gauges gets stuck sometimes, but it's got a 3/4 head on it. So I just use my magnet. When I'm done with the magnet, I stick it on the hood so I don't lose it. And then I put my little adapter on the hose for the cylinder leakage test. It's actually pretty easy. And what I'm not going to do is put it in there yet. I got a big screwdriver. I put a little tape on it so don't scratch the cylinder piston up, but it really isn't going to do nothing. Stick it down there. Now since we know we're going to start a compression, you see that little screwdriver? Now I'm going to turn the engine by the crankshaft. Great. And when the screwdriver goes all the way up, I'm going to back it down backwards just a little bit. All the way just a hair before it gets to the top. That's top dead center pretty much. And then this gauge here, it's real easy to use. You're going to put your air onto there, and this little fitting, pull it down and turn so you can adjust it. You want to get this gauge to 0. This is the gauge you're going to want to get to 0. Sorry about my upside downness. Once that is set to 0, let me pause this so I move this. Once it's set to 0, you just push the back in and it's locked in. Now I got this just right above, just a hair before top dead center. On the compression stroke, you have to do the compression stroke. So you can stick a piece of paper, wad it in there, and get a big piece because you don't want it to fall in the cylinder. Of course, it would blow out. It just crank the engine over. And actually, run the hose. We're grabbing the cylinder leak down tester hose. Screw it in there nice as tight as I can. Now I have to force it. Put my air to it, here to the hose. Now you're listening for leaks. I'm at less than 20%. You can see it that well there. That's fine. If you really have a leak, you're going to check your intake, open the throttle body, listen for air. You listen out your dipstick. You got the dipstick already removed. You'd listen out your exhaust pipe, or you'd open up your radiator or your radiator coolant bottle and listen for noise. So far we haven't found any issues. Disconnect it because you don't want to leave your, it's going to take your air out, your compressor, just keep it running to throw the air in the cylinder. So we're less than 10%, we're fine. So that fitting got stuck in there again, which is fine. Take my ratchet, 3/4 inch ratchet. And actually, this leak down tester didn't have this adapter I needed, so I'm using one of my compression gauge tool, which is fine. Compression gauge tool is just the one I like, came from Sears. A lot of automotive shops sell the same one. Let's see here. Pause it. We're going to go to cylinder number 4. I believe that's how they're ordered. Yep. Piece is stuck in there. Get my little 10-pound magnet, grab it, put it on the end of the compression gauge hose. See, these are nice, these swivels. I don't have stuck with the gauge. Get those cheap ones made at the Chinese tool store. And these are supposed to be a little more accurate. Now I'm going to put my compression gauge on. This is Sunpros brand, I guess. I don't know. I've had it for forever. I prefer this. Okay. Now we're going to watch for compression. You'll hear it too. We're not going to see a lot because we're not cranking the heck out of the engine. Boom, 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 boom. Now it started to move. I can feel it. So I know I'm on compression because the engine's hard to turn. Squeeze that, you hear a little hiss. That means we're on compression stroke. And now, adapter usually stays on the compression hose. Now we're going to take the adapter off. Compression hose. Put on the leak down detector hose. So you're not supposed to switch to hoses, I don't know. The leak down detector probably can take a little more pressure or something. I'm not going to mess with it. Screw it in as tight as you can. Oh, actually, you know what? We forgot one step. Make sure she's on top dead center. We're on compression stroke, but we need to be higher up. So this is a screwdriver we got in there. Put the screwdriver over there. Excuse my camera work. The screwdriver's over there. And we're going to bring it up, bring it up. That starts to go down, so we're going to bring it back. And where it just starts to go down again, just a little bit, just a hair before top dead center. And then take the screwdriver out. Screw it in there as tight as you can. Put the leak down detector in there. And I'm going to try to show you the gauges better. The only error here is where that tool is inside the cylinder. We're at less than 10%, which is normal, yellow. Actually get all the way to, yeah, so we're fine. I don't hear anything, see anything big, any differences. Don't hear nothing down the throttle body. And if you don't do the compression stroke, which I tried, I had it coming out the intake. I'm like, why? Well, the other stroke is, I guess it's on the intake stroke, so it's going out or in through the intake. So you don't really need any tools to do this. You could use a piece of paper, paper towel or something, but I use the compression gauge. This is the cheap one you get from your local Chinese tool store. I had to use 2 sockets, one to get the spark plugs out, and a 3/4 get the adapter get stuck out. And then I used my compression gauge here. So I like these because they got the compression fitting, so you can remove the hose and just spin it. And then just a little screwdriver. I'm going to put a little tape on the end. That's it. Hopefully this gives you a little bit better idea how to do that. And let me pause it just one more second. And since I really didn't show you what I was doing underneath here, this is a crankshaft. I'm spinning it clockwise and back just a hair when I went over to top dead center. with just a 1/2-inch bar. And since all the spark plugs is out, it's pretty easy. Here's the bolt. I don't recommend using impact on here. You don't want to break that bolt. And also, you need to do it by hand, so you need to take your time. So hopefully this makes it a little more clear than some of the other videos out there, because I was getting confused and having issues with the air leaking out when it really wasn't leaking out. If you like this, just hit the like button and check out my other videos. And this is, like I said, is a Ford Escort ZX2 90 to 2002. The Focuses pretty much have the same engine. All cars are basically the same, so this gives you an idea. Thank you for watching.